Brother, listen up. It is 04:30. Freddie crushed a 40-pound kettlebell workout, a raw egg smoothie, and 11 minutes of aggressive jawline exercises. My chin could cut glass. My T levels are classified, and the elk I ate this morning, that's also classified. This is lethality. Warrior ethos. And that guy, that exact guy, is running the Department of Defense. Excuse me, the Department of War. And this week, that guy made up the roided up MMA CrossFit guy personality as an official Pentagon policy. Yes, Pete Hegseth just ordered mandatory testosterone testing for every service member over 30. Under 30, you get to volunteer. Yet if you get flagged for a deficiency, you can opt into treatment. And a CNN panel, just like I can't, could not stop laughing long enough to finish covering it.
Ensuring you have the right testosterone levels to operate at your absolute best.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth wants our troops to be tested for testosterone deficiency. He says it'll make them stronger. And Mike, we had to bring in more testosterone. That's why Harrison is here. This is an issue that's at the next, I think it's at the junction of like Chad, Lookmaxxing Boulevard, and RFK Way.
Anchor Audie Cornish brought on a former DIA official and deadpan quoting the actual broadcast, quote, "We needed to bring in more testosterone," and the panel lost it. Cornish said that the policy exists at the intersection of, quote, Lookmaxxing Boulevard and RFK Way. And for anyone that is blessed enough not to know, Lookmaxxing is internet slang for guys obsessing over their jawline and hormone levels to look more masculine online. And frankly, who needs to Lookmaxx when you have like 6 different shades of facial hair? Anyway, the Navy has nuclear submarines. The Air Force has stealth bombers. And now the Secretary of Defense is worried that the force isn't swole enough. We are one press conference away from mandatory cold plunges and a Pentagon creatine budget. One expert on the panel said it flat out, Hegseth is not somebody who understands or cares about the health of the troops under his responsibility. We know this. Remember, we covered this, that his last big medical decision was canceling mandatory flu shots. And that policy had to get reversed after a cluster of recruits at an Air Force basic training base got sick. And one of them even died. Yes, a young service member is dead because SecDef scrapped a boring decades-old public health protocol for no real reason. A family got the phone call that no family should ever get because of this guy. And remember that every single time that this administration or their supporters claim that they're the ones that care about the troops.
Pete Hegseth is not somebody who understands or cares about the health of the troops under his responsibility.
Why do you say that? He's always talking about their weight.
He's
always talking about exercising.
I got
facial hair.
Yeah.
So which is it with this guy? Is it vanity? Is it ideology? Or is this just a man that nobody in his entire life has told him no? Give me your honest theory in the comments because I do. I go back and forth on this. And look, I'm going to read all of your comments. And look, experts on that panel pointed out that boosting testosterone can actually affect your deployability and your eligibility for special duty status. So you could have a guy who spent his entire career qualifying for elite duty and they could lose it because the secretary decided that the whole branch needed to be more jacked. Meanwhile, this same administration has been actively hostile to gender-affirming care for troops who need it, for their actual health. But this is the exact same damn thing, just with primal grunting, shaving your entire body, and tribal tattoos. And that's why I'm going to ask you to hit the notification icon and keep deadlifting with us. Who am I kidding? I don't lift.